Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Clutch.
Okay, so type A, type B, it's discrete, implicit constraint, x plus y is greater than or equal to 12. That takes care of the at least 12 questions, right? And then there's an hour limit, right? So it's not saying at least or anything like that, but it's kind of implying that at most you have 60 minutes, at the very most, okay? So then you got to use your minutes, the coefficients, right? 4x, right? 4 minutes per question in part A plus 6 minutes for every question in part B has to be less than or equal to not 1, but 60 minutes, okay? Everything has to be so within 60 minutes, right? Which is 1 hour. So there you have your inequalities. And what about the marks, Mr. Dirksen? Where would that come in? There's no restriction on that. How about we do this? Maximum score. So we come up with our objective function. Score, the maximum score, you would have to use, right? You get 6 marks for a question in part A, and you get 10 marks for a question in part B. This is your objective function. Okay, which is not going to be graphed. It will be used after, later. Okay, so I usually do it at the end. Okay, okay, so here we go. Let's come up with our, how about I do this just to save some room here. I'm going to call this 1 and this is 2. So inequality 1 and 2. For inequality 1, I've got 12, 0, 0, 12. If I rewrite it, watch for the opening, right? This is greater than or equal to. So you have to watch out for that. Negative x plus 12. And it will result in a solid line. Above is true, so shade below. Okay? I'll make a note of that. For the second inequality here, this one, that one I would have to do some work there. Before coming up with the intercept. So 4x equals 60. Sorry. Divide by 4. Divide by 4, that's 15. So it's 15, 0 for my x-intercept. 6y is equal to 60. Divide both by 6. Y is equal to 10, 0, 10. There it is. I've got my intercepts there. Rewriting it would be 6y, negative 4x plus 60. Divide everything by 6. Nothing flips, right? So that's negative 2/3 x plus 10. Solid. And below is true, so I shade above. Okay, so it's opposite. The inequalities, right, are pointing opposite ways, and my shading is also saying that it's opposite, so we're good to go. So let's graph it here. Sorry. Type A questions, label right away, okay? You would not want to lose marks because of that. Type B questions. I need to account for up to 15 each way, so you can actually use quite a bit of space. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If you can use more space, then the graph is just easier to work with. Oh, I'm supposed to go all the way to 15, right? So it's a bit of a problem. So that's okay. I'm going to go up by threes. Never done that before, right? But that's okay. As long as you're consistent, right? It's actually a good example to show you how to solve on the fly, right? And up here, you go up to 12. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I'm using a scale of 2 here, and I'm using a scale of 3 here. But you're consistent, right? That is what matters. Okay, so 12, 0, and 0, 12. Let's graph that. And that would give you x plus y is greater than or equal to 12. And then we have the other one, which is 15, 0. That'd be right here. And 0, 10 should be right there. This one is 4x plus 6y is less than or equal to 60. Now, this line here, the first one, it says shade below, so you follow it. And shade below it, right? The other one, it says shade above, so I have to follow that and be careful and shade above it. Right, so this is my solution region here. I have 1, 2, 3 corner points, which I'm going to identify. So corner points are up here. This one I can just read, that's 12, 0. Then it's 15, 0. And this one, you use your calculator and you get 6, 6. So all round numbers, no need to round. But if whole numbers, I should say, if it's not a whole number ever, write down the decimal exactly to 2 decimals, and then next to it, you just round to a whole number if you need to. Okay? Then we now need to come up with a maximum score. So we're going to try 12, 0, 15, 0, and 6, 6. So we're going to use the score there, right? This one, the objective function. So it's 6 times 12. We get something there. Here we get 6 times 15. And here we get 6 times 6 plus 10 times 6. Always using the objective function that I found earlier, okay? So I'm actually going to box this in and just, right, it kind of sticks out there. So 6 times 12, 72 marks. 6 times 15, that would be 90.
Would that be 10 times 10?
This here?
Yeah.
It says 10y, right? 10y, and y happens to be 6.
Oh, wait, I read it wrong, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. 90, and then it's 6 times 6 is 36 plus 60, which is 96 marks. And you kind of have that feeling that that's what it's going to be anyways, right? But here we have, so this gives you the max, right? So answering 6 questions in part A and 6 in part B will maximize score. And again, this is based on the restrictions that were placed upon you, right? So let's say you had more time. If you had 2 hours, right, everything would change, right? Or it could even, this question could have said like an added, it could have inserted an added restriction saying, hey, you need to, in order for you to pass this test, you need to have scored at least 5 questions from part B. Wait a minute, how does that work? Well, that would be a single inequality of y is greater than or equal to 5, right? Which we would have added here. And that if it's y is greater than or equal to 5, that's a horizontal line right here, right? And so that would have restricted your solution region even more. And so be watchful and keep that in mind, so you're able to do that. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is allow you, give you the rest of today's class. So we have 20 minutes left. You should have picked up when you came through here. So this was just part of your notes. Okay. I'm going to kind of keep it there in case somebody's still writing it down. But there was a linear programming. That's what the unit used to be called. But it's really inequalities. And there's a practice test there. Yours isn't green, of course, but try to find this in your package. If you don't have this, you can go back to the beginning of this unit where I posted all of the handouts. But I think I also have it ready to show up today. Let me just check. Yeah. And so I just posted it. If you don't have the actual physical copy, it's now under classwork for under today's lesson. And I want you to try that, okay? And I will not post the answer key just yet, because I would like to